Good morning, it's Brigit here from Silverfit, one of the Pilates teachers, and today we are going to do a session featuring arms. Okay, so we're going to work our arms, we're going to do some strength, some mobility, some coordination, some other fun stuff themed around our arms. Okay, so we'll start off just rolling the shoulders. Keep rolling the shoulders. Just remembered that I've got tight hips, so I'm actually going to raise my seat here, sitting on a block. Okay, so rolling the shoulders, roll them the other way, and then place your hands on your shoulders and get your elbows to come as close together as they can, and then we're just going to open out the chest. And remember to breathe. And you can feel those shoulder muscles underneath your fingertips there in action. It's very nice. And then change direction. So we are now internally rotating. We are stretching out the upper back. And if you find when you're doing this that it gets a little bit pinchy, sort of here in the pectorals, what you can do is just kind of get some buoyant energy in the core. So imagine someone's poking you in the belly button as you bring your elbows over, and you get a bit more space. Okay, and then we release, and we'll just shrug and release it out. And we're going to spread our wings and sitting up nice and tall. Now I'm sitting on a block, but you could kneel, for example, or you could even do this standing. We're going to reach over to one side, and then we're going to reach over to the other side. So just reaching and feel your core muscles stabilizing you and anchoring this movement. 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. And give those shoulders a little shake. We're going to come down onto our backs. And this one, we're going to test our coordination, okay? So to get onto your back from seated, if you've got a dodgy back, you can lie on your side and then just roll over onto your back. Or if your back is feeling good today, what we can do is just hold onto the thighs and we're rolling back. You don't necessarily need to hold onto the thighs. You're rolling back. Nice and safe, okay? So we don't want to feel any pinching or any jarring going on in the lower back. So if you need to, go onto the side and then on the back, and then that will keep you nice and safe. Okay, so from here, we're going to find our setup. Now, some of us have got, when we're lying in this position, it gets a little bit like this. It gets a little bit scrunchy in the neck. So if you know that that's you, and you will kind of know that that's you, just pop your head on a cushion or just a block, maybe not quite as thick as that, but just to keep your head lifted and your neck long. And then once you find it helps with the spinal alignment, which is all important here. So once you're here, we're going to lift one leg, we're going to lift the other leg, we bring our fingertips up towards the ceiling, and we're just going to find our neutral position for our shoulders. So as we inhale, we're going to reach our fingertips up towards the ceiling, but keep your neck long. And then as you exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then we repeat. And what we're trying to get to here is just to find our neutral shoulder position. Okay, so when we're doing the exercise, we want to have good, strong shoulders, working from their proper place. Okay, and then we're here. Okay, now this is the movement. I'm going to toe tap with my right foot, keep your 90 degrees angle, and my right arm is tracking my right thigh, and my left arm is going off in the opposite direction. And then exhale, come back, and then inhale, left leg, left arm go forwards, right arm goes back. Be careful not to lose your arms. Keep your arms really focused, and then come back. And then we'll do that again. Now I'm aware here that if I overdo it, this happens behind my neck. Okay, so we really want to avoid that. We want to avoid any sort of neck aggro. Keep tracking as well what's happening around your shoulders. It's very easy for them to start sort of rounding or winging or doing strange things. So core, we're working the core, we're keeping our, so long as we have our core and our spinal alignment, the moving parts need to kind of work with a good core, with a good spinal alignment, okay? And we'll just do one more on that side. So there's no point in kind of flinging your arms and legs around if the rest of it isn't kind of anchored properly. Good. And then we're here and we're tucking the knees into the chest. We're going to cradle the knees and we'll just give ourselves a little release there through the lower back, and then we'll change direction. And then we're going to roll, or you can go sideways and ease yourself into a sitting position, or if you're okay, we're rolling into our sitting position. And then we're going to, now we want to find a comfortable sitting position, or you can do this next exercise from a standing position if that feels better for you. But I'm going to do it sitting on my block, cross-legged. Okay, now we need to have a good spine for this, okay, because it's a difficult exercise, and if we start kind of going like that with the spine, we'll lose the focus. So you want to keep your spine nice and long, and we're going to make a wide W position with the arms. So it's not like that, but it's not straight either. It's somewhere in between. We've got a soft bend in the elbows, and you're going to just have your palms facing up. And if you imagine you're balancing a golf ball in the palm of each hand, so we're not gripping, we're just balancing. And from here, with our long spine, we're just going to start to circle the shoulders. You're circling the shoulders. Now keep going, and I'm just going to turn sideways so that you can see what it looks like from the side. Circling the shoulders, circling. And remember, you've got your golf ball balanced in the palm of each hand. Keep going if you can. If you need to shrug and release, go ahead, but keep going if you can. Now we're going to change direction. So we're circling, other way, and you're probably starting to feel it now. Okay, keep your spine, so you want to keep that spine nice and long. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold it. And release. Oh, feels like your arms want to fall off. But actually, we're working our arms, but we're also activating the upper back muscles, and also by extension the muscles of the trunk. So we've got all this extra power that is kind of delivered through the arms. If the arms are just going and it's going like that, it will get all in the neck and it will be all jaggly, and so we want to kind of really work it properly. And this is why it's so important to get our spine correctly aligned. Not just for that exercise, but for all the exercises. Okay, so we're going to just get rid of the block, and you've got one, and we're on our hands and knees. And so we're going to mobilise around the shoulders again. So as we inhale, we're sitting back towards our heels, and as we exhale, we're going to come up, we're just going to circle the arm. Nice big floaty circle. Inhale, back to the heels. Exhale, other side. Okay, now if your bum doesn't go all the way back to your heels, no worries. Okay, just go where you can, because you don't want to force anything. Okay, and you might find these circles easier or more appropriate for you if you keep a bend in the elbow. So it just depends on you really. If you can manage a straight arm, go for it. If not. I'm going to change direction now with my circles. I'm going to go for an internal rotation. And the other side. And one more each side. And there we go. Lovely. So let's sit back on our heels, or as close as you can, but this time we're going to tuck our toes under, reverse your bum back, come onto your fingertips and walk your hands forwards. Lovely stretch here, really nice. Ooh, and then come back. Okay, now you can press pause if you want, because we're going to use a weight or a tin of baked beans for the next one. Okay, so I've just got a small weight here. So press pause, grab your weight or your tin of beans, and I'll show you what we're going to do next. So I've just got a little weight here. It doesn't have to be massive. Okay, mine is 2 kilograms. So we're going to come into the plank position. Now, you can do it from hands and knees, or you can do a knee plank, so where your knees are just a little bit further away from your hips. Try not to slump or slouch, okay? You need to keep quite strong here. So we're going to place the weight behind our left hand, and then you're going to pick up your right hand, pick up the weight and place it behind your right hand, and then you're going to pick up the weight with your left, place it behind your left, and so forth. Okay, now obviously it's harder when you're in the full plank, and we've just got to be careful that if you're in the full plank that you don't end up sort of doing this with your hips or doing that with your head. Okay, so you want to be, keep going, you want to keep a nice pipeline through the body, lovely, and relax. Okay, sit back, child's pose. You're very welcome to do another set of those if you want to, but that's a pretty powerful movement there. Okay, so we're in a kneeling position. We're going to sit back on our heels, and then you're going to just move your bum over to one side, shimmy the legs round, and we're going to come here with our arms. Okay, so our arms are like so. We're going to press into the heels. You can keep a soft bend in the knee if you need to, and we're going to scoop those abs, scoop, 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 rolling down. If you prefer, if your back is feeling a bit delicate, then just lie on your side and then roll onto your back. Now from here, we're going to do helicopter arms. And it's quite, it's a coordination, it's a brain teaser. Okay, so you can have your feet on the floor. If you just really want to focus on the arms, you can have your feet on the floor. You don't need to worry too much about what's going on down that end of the body. Okay, or if you want, if you're confident, you know your coordination is good, you can bring your legs into this position or even this position. Oh, that's so hard. Okay, I'm going to keep my feet on the floor for the demo. So helicopter arms. Remember that work we did on our shoulders before, so find your good, neutral, strong shoulder position, and we're going to scissor the arms and we're going to semicircle them, and then we're going to bring them back. And then change your leading arm, bring them back. Scissor, semicircle, return. Scissor, semicircle, return. Scissor, semicircle, return. Scissor, semicircle, return. Okay? Shake it. So you might need to do a few attempts at that, because sometimes it takes a while for the brain to kind of catch up with what it knows what it's got to do here. Okay, so we're going to bring the legs together, our arms are up, and then we're just going to open, and then we're going to close. Inhale as you open, exhale as you close. And you might be able to do this with a neutral spine, which is very nice if you can. If you find that is a bit sort of pinchy or gappy in your back, you can imprint the spine, and we're tucking in, and we're just going to give ourselves a little hug, and then we're going to come into a sitting position again. Okay, so we've got this next exercise. I'll do this one from a kneeling position. Okay, so again, it doesn't really matter how you're sitting, so long as you can manage a straight spine. Okay, that is the priority here. Straight spine or standing is absolutely fine. Okay, so we've got our arms now in a W position, and we're going to do an exercise called walnuts, and it's called walnuts because it's like we're squeezing walnuts between our shoulder blades, and you're squeezing, and you're squeezing, and you're squeezing, and I'm just going to go at a side angle so you can see. So it's like you're squeezing walnuts between your shoulder blades, and you're squeezing, and as you squeeze, keep those abdominals working. Keep those abs working. I'm going to show you some things to avoid with the arms. So you want to avoid the elbows going behind the wrists, okay? You also want to avoid doing that with your hands, okay? So we want our wrists over the elbows, and it comes from the shoulders, okay? So it comes from the shoulders. So if you need to reset and you're like that, we don't do that. We get those shoulders sorted out. Squeeze, and we're squeezing away. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 3, 2, 1, and hold it. Hold that squeeze. Nice long spine. And release. Ooh. Give those shoulders a little roll. Okay, so we're going to now do another couple of exercises. We're going to pile it on top of the arms here. Okay, so we've got thumbs coming towards our palms. We are wrapping our fingers around our thumbs, and then we're going to make a little bit of a light fist. So we're just going to knock the fist together, and then we're like that. So it's a little bit like walnuts. Okay, fist together, and then we're like that, and and then we're like that. So you're squeezing the shoulder blades together, but you also want to kind of be aware of these, the rest of the back muscles coming into play. The hands are at shoulder height. And now we're going to move the hands a little bit lower. And we're just getting that squeeze. And we're squeezing, and we want that nice long spine. Okay. Now, if you're finding your sitting position is starting to get uncomfortable, do change it. And you can even sit on a chair or a stool. Now we're going to do 2 high and 2 lower. And 2 high and 2 low. So the whole time we're maintaining that straight spine. 2 high, 2 low. Okay, and now we're going to go 1 high, 1 low, and we're injecting a little bit of speed. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Brilliant. Give yourself a quick shake, and now we're going to bring our arms into this position. So capital E position. Shrug and release the shoulders, and we're doing this. It's robots. So you want to imagine that you have got a sort of short broomstick handle from elbow to elbow, and you're getting this nice action. Wait, and keep going. Try not to flap at the wrists, okay? So it's not a wrist-led action. It's the motion, the movement is coming from the upper back and the shoulders. And we want to tap into those upper back muscles rather than scrunching in the neck. So just be mindful of that. We don't want to scrunch in the neck. Okay, now bring your arms here. So our wrists and our elbows are at the same height. We're going to bring our thumb to our palm. We're going to wrap the fingers around our thumb. And again, we're in this position. We're going to just tap the chest, and then we're going to open into a crucifix. Inhale, squeeze the triceps, exhale. Now, I'm just going to do that from the side so you can see. We're like a crucifix. We're not in an aeroplane. It's a crucifix. Okay, so the arms are out to the side. Again, you imagine you've got a sort of broomstick handle strapped to the back of your arms, skimming across your back without a big gap. Ooh, this is quite hard, isn't it? 3, 2, and 1. Hold it there. Just fan out the fingers a little bit, zap energy into the fingertips, and now the palms are facing behind us, and we're going to pulse, 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 pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it and release. Ugh, give those arms a nice little shake. Okay, now we're going to come into the mermaid position, and if you find this difficult, you can try extending that leg, or you can bend your knee, or you can even bend both knees. You can sit on the block. So find an option that is good for you. And we're just going to now rest our palms on our knees, and we'll just do a few swirls here. And then we're going to swirl the other way. And this helps to release out the spine as well after all of those arm exercises where the spine was straight, but we don't want it rigid. We don't want it rigid like a rod. Okay, and then we're here, and now you're going to straighten out your outer leg. And you place the opposite hand on the floor like so. And we're just going to take a stretch. Have a little stretch. Okay, now if you want to go a bit further, you're going to lift off with the stretch. And then release. Good. And we sit back, shake out the legs, and we're mermaid on the other side, or one of your alternatives. And we're going to cradle the knees, and we'll just do a few swirls here. And then change direction. And then we're here, and your outer leg, you straighten that out, your other hand is on the floor, go for that lovely side body stretch. We're stretching out the arms as well, swoosh the arm back, and then inhale, exhale, lift off if you want to go a little bit further, and then release. And then give your arms a nice little shake. Okay, so we're going to do a variation of a side plank. Okay, so let's come onto this side here. Now we can work easy, medium or hard with the side planks. So the easiest way, we bend the underneath leg and we straighten out the top leg, and you've got your arm like this. Okay, so you can have a straight arm. You could also have, you could be on your forearm as well. Okay, so you've got wrist problems, you can try coming onto your forearm. And we're going to inhale, and as you exhale, we come up. We're like a rainbow. So your top side of your body is like a rainbow, and then we come back down. Now, if you want to work a little bit harder, you can just straighten out your underneath leg. We've got a soft bend in the knee to start with, and then it gives you somewhere to go when you come up. We've got that rainbow position, and then come back down. If that's too much for you, because it's a pretty hard exercise, stay on your knee, okay, and we'll just do one more. One side of your body is going to be stronger than the other, no doubt. We've got that rainbow, that arch, and then release. Okay, and then we're over to the other side. Great toners for the arms, and also, you know, it's not just our arms that are doing the work here. We've got our back muscles, our core muscles, everything's in the mix here. The whole body has got to rally for this, really. Okay, so we're on the other side. And so I'm starting off with my bent, the lower leg is bent, so I can just see where my strength's at today. So we inhale, and as you exhale, reaching up, and I'm thinking, yes, I can manage a little bit more. Now I'm wearing socks here, which is a little bit naughty here, okay, because they are quite slippy. So if you, but it's very cold in this kitchen. So if you know that you're on a slippy surface, slippy socks, you've got to bear that in mind. You've just got to really use your core. So, or take them off. Okay, inhale, and as you exhale, up we come. Inhale as we come back. The more slippy your feet are, the stronger you're going to have to work your core. Inhale, exhale, and then we come back. Lovely. Good. And then we're here. We're going to roll over onto our fronts. Have any stretch that you want to have. So let's do a couple of cat cows whilst we're here. This is your exhale. This is your inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And from here, we're just going to go for a press up. So our chest goes between our thumbs. And here we are, we're down on the floor. It's the down phase of the press up without coming up again. And we'll just shimmy up the hips a little bit. So this exercise for the arms, and it, again, like a lot of the arm exercises, we need to find the muscles in our back, and that really supports the arms are so much stronger when we can put our back into it. So we're going to go from a W to a V to an I, and I'm saying that now because when I do the exercise I'll be mumbling into the mat. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Press your feet, engage your core, forehead on the mat, W, V, I, W, V, I. Okay, now keep going with that, and I'm going to demonstrate it from a kneeling position just so you can see the action. W, V, I, and draw from your core, not from your lower back. Try and maintain, try and keep your forehead on the floor, okay? And as you go into that I, that streamlined position, if you can, okay, if you can't, you can't, but if you can, make sure you're drawing from your core. That is really important. You don't want to feel that you're sucking out of your lower back, okay? If that happens, then return back to the W again and just work up to it, okay? The strength comes bit by bit, the strength and range of movement, we have to kind of work up to it rather than just expect it to sort of click into place. Okay, now if you're good here, and you're in that either that V position or that I position, you're going to see if you can hover your upper body now off the floor. Look at me if you're not sure. Just be very careful of your lower back. Engage your core and then lift your legs as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Make a little pillow out of your hands. Rest your forehead in your hand pillow and just shake your hips from side to side. so nice. Okay, and then just press yourself back up again and find a nice comfortable sitting position. I'm quite liking the kneel today. So you're going to bring your right arm up and across. We're just going to stretch it out now. Give yourself a little stretch. Don't hold your elbow. You want to be sort of away from the joint. Getting that nice stretch. Right arm comes up and then grab hold of the elbow, stretching out the triceps. It's a nice side body stretch as well if you want to just put that side body stretch in. And release. The other arm goes across. Give that a stretch. And then lift the arm up, bend the elbow, grab hold of the elbow with the other arm. If you're very limber, you might be able to manage a monkey grip where you just clasp the hands behind you, or you can use a cord like a dressing gown cord or something if you can't quite reach. So it's another nice option there. Lovely. And shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. We're going to do one last exercise before we leave it. Now, if you've still got your weight handy, you can use this one. So we're lying on our backs. And you can use your weight or just not use weight. And we're here, okay? And then you're going to rise up into the bridge. And you're going to reach behind you with the weight. If you haven't got the weight, just press your arms into the floor when you're here. Okay, press your arms in and then bring your arms back. And then reach behind you again. Now, if it's too much to do this with your body in the bridge position, you can just do it lying on the floor. Let's do two more. Notice what's happening around your shoulders. And especially if you're in the bridge, but also if you're on the floor, make sure you're not popping those ribs or flaring those ribs. You want to keep them contained. Okay, let's bring the arms back. Let's roll back down vertebra by vertebra by vertebra. Place your weight on the floor. Tuck your knees in. And again, we're just going to circle out the knees. Change direction. We'll finish off with a full body stretch. So full body stretch. Just hold onto your left wrist with your right hand. And now we're going to go for a bit of a banana stretch here where you're really kind of stretching out the whole left seam of your body. And come back to the center, grab hold of your right wrist, stretch, and then go for that side bend. So it's like we're a banana. Our front body is facing up, our back body is facing down. Straighten up, tuck your knees into your chest, a few side to side rolls. And then we're on our side. And then ease yourself up. We're going to spread our wings, palms together, give yourselves a clap. Well done, everybody. Arms day, okay? So you might feel it in your arms tomorrow, but that's a good sign, okay? So if you're just feeling a little bit achy in your arms tomorrow, that's absolutely fine. It's just a sign that we're waking up those muscles. Obviously, if it's a bit beyond that, if you're feeling any pinching or twinching in the neck, make sure, you have a few days off. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.